What's going on, everybody? How you doing? In today's video, we are on the next section of this behind the scenes. This is the video section. So this is part 1 out of 4, cut up into 4 different sections. We're gonna hit this. If you're new here, please subscribe. Check out my videos, all kinds of videos, reaction videos, bass videos, music videos, all kinds of videos, playlists, stuff like that. It's all organized. Check it out. If you like the channel, all kinds of ways to help out and support. I do donation requests. All that information is in the description below. Thank you guys. Alright, so video. Will this part be interesting? Will it not be interesting? Will it be ridiculous and silly? Do they have somebody that complains about everything and, you know, kind of trolls and yells at other areas of people, you know, working? Kind of like the sound guy, right? The monitor guy. Is there going to be another bus tour? What's going to happen here? Are we going to actually see people partaking in the bus action? I'm not sure. Video. Are these people boring? They might be boring. I'm not sure. But we're going to find out. So let's get to part 1. Let's do this. Bam.
Perfect game is what it's all about every single night.
Stand by, 1 and 3. Go.
Your reward is you still got your job tomorrow if you did it right today.
A good night is when everything shoots and no one dies.
Yeah.
Fire in the hole.
His shirt.
It's time to make the donuts.
3, 2, 1. And roll.
Another show. Ottawa.
Tonight's sold-out show at the Scotiabank Place in Ottawa, Ontario is one of the band's remaining few performances to be played on this Canadian leg of the Snakes and Arrows tour. As a result, each member of the road crew now has their daily routine down to a science. 5 tour buses begin to roll up at each venue around 8 a.m. 7 idling tractor trailers are quickly unloaded by 40 locally hired stage crew. Then the 40 full-time Rush road crew start the process of building the show.
Morning.
It's a lady. Wow. Video.
Beautiful day in Ottawa.
If you've ever seen a Rush concert, then you know that the band loves to punctuate the delivery of the overall concert experience with a variety of on-stage video elements. Be it live in-house cameras, still photos, or short video clips. On this tour, 3 large state-of-the-art LED screens have been incorporated into the overall stage design. And during each show, it's up to video engineer Bob Larkin to deliver the content that fills those screens.
You're going to see Bob standing like this a whole lot.
Yep, I spend a lot of time just watching these guys work
Hey,
all day
we're
long.
about all done with my truck.
I mean, isn't he a sexy too, isn't he?
I am. Thank you. I'm the video engineer, or the EIC as they like to refer to it in the real business of television. So I'm responsible for how basically we produce the show video-wise every day. Out here on the road, we don't really have a big TV crew, so all of us wear lots of different hats. So then later in the day, I become like an AD / I'm the shader for the show. So I tweak the cameras and do all the white balance changes and things like that. This will be my 3rd Rush tour. I've been doing this type of work, video engineering work, out on the road since about 96 or 97. And prior to that, I had a business doing interactive graphics and developed animation. Worked at Coca-Cola for a while as an animator. We come in and, you know, basically like every day is Groundhog Day except for the place where you get to do it. So every day you have to come in and make all those different decisions for that venue specifically. Yeah. You know, if there's ice on the ground or whether or not you can tape the cables across the walkways, that type of stuff. First thing this morning, our LED guys, Bill and Nick, they'll get all of our power laid out so that they've got power. They'll run all the cables and the control mechanisms so that they can get our motors ready so that once the riggers have the points in, they can start to hang the wall.
Okay, guys, we need to move this nice and orderly all the way over, okay? Let's start with this one here.
After we walk around, we do a quick look, see where we're going to put everything, try to decide where we're going to store stuff. We try to grab our breakfast and get ready for when our truck will get in the hole and start to dump. So half of the day is construction, and the other half is the art.
These tall, skinny racks are very top heavy, okay?
This is Bill, our LED tech. Bill will be spending all of his time right here, hopefully building the big TV.
If I ever get my points, so.
What we're trying to do now is figure out, after they get all the sound through, they'll swing this over and hopefully pull that 2-aught cable back so that then when the wall comes in, it'll roll in so that he can build it.
That way we have a free, clear path all along where the screens are going to be
big, heavy
hanging.
boxes like the roll on the solid floor. Hi, how are you, ladies? Which way are you going?
All PA goes that way, please.
All PA goes that way, please. The rules of the day have changed.
Yeah.
This is the big black box parade that happens every morning. Dun, 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 dun. If they would just whistle more as they worked, it would make it better, I think. Yeah. Every Disney song you ever thought of goes with this. There's 4 of us on the video team. There's Dave Davidian, who's the video director. So it starts with him. You know, he picks out a team of guys to help him get done what he needs to get done.
How many more are you going to put there? All right, these are going to start going to the left, okay? These are all going to start going left, all right? To the left. I'm the, what you would call the video director, the IMAG director of the live show. We have the 3 screens that go up behind the stage. It entails the controlling of what images go to those screens, calling of the cameras, playing back of the, you know, routing all the playback to the screens. I've been doing the showbiz, if you will, for about 35 years, and video for about 17 now. I was and still am a lighting designer and production designer, and I still do that as well, which was the first. I did that for 20 years or 18 years before a friend of mine told me that I call spots well, so I'd be good at calling cameras, so want to try it? And I said, sure, why not? All right, most of this stuff is going in the Zamboni area now. As far as the show itself, I mean, the show is comprised of, I would say, you know, all equal parts. I mean, there's no singular, you know, the lighting, sound. I mean, with no lights, you can't see anybody, no sound, you can't hear anybody. Video, I mean, I would say we're not as integral as those 2 elements. You know, obviously, if there's no video screen, they'll still see them, they'll still hear them. And at the end of the day, one can always make the argument that that's certainly the most important thing, you know, overall to see. But we certainly provide not only graphic backgrounds and help to create an environment for the band that's both complementary to their music and kind of interesting visually for the people in the house. To be able to see Alex's fingers, what he's actually doing on the fretwork, Neil's, you know, close-ups of how he's executing, you know, the technical stuff that people like to see, the things that they could never see from their seats. It's important, people love to see it. I mean, I'd be lying if I told you, you know, the show couldn't go on without it in the same respect that lighting and sound play. But, you know, I think that everybody would miss it if it wasn't there.
Yeah.
What's going to happen over the next 2 hours? They're building, we have two long lens cameras out of the front that shoot the stage. They're building the platforms now. Once they get those platforms built, I will build the cameras. All right, I think we got risers here, guys. Let's go build. I'll need one person up here to help me. Just set it right there on the corner of the riser, nice and gentle, please. That is more than a few. That's more than most people's houses cost, unfortunately. So what you have is you have an angle plate right here, and you have the corresponding match to that plate in the back right here. What we do is we line it up on the sides, we put it up so that it's a little bit of an upwards angle like this, and then we will gently lower it into place, all right? All I need you to do is hug it and provide lift for me, if you will. Okay, now down, slow, slow. Good. That's all there is to it. Worst thing about this job is being separated from your family and the people you love all the time, but it's always a great job. Even after 35 years, every time the house lights go out, I get the butterflies in the stomach, and it's always fresh. And that's the beautiful thing about this job, but big sacrifice to the ones at home that you love. Big sacrifice. That's the sad thing, you know, especially when you have kids. They suffer a lot from, it's like having a father in the military or Coast Guard and all that. It's very tough on your family. And they really deserve as much credit as everybody else for being able to put up with it. Well, you leave it open because we got to put it back. In any show, but especially in a live show like this, where every night it's not like you can put it on tape and then edit it, and you know, even on the network stuff, a lot of it, what they call live, they actually take a week to kind of chop it up and make sure that it comes out okay in the rinse. But on these shows, it's live every night. Every mistake is up there, and you know, so it's really critical that the camera guys deliver the show, that they be on their game every night, because there's just no redos, no do-overs. A boy and his camera.
One of the TV cameras is now locked and loaded, but there are several more that still need to be assembled, including two robotic cameras that are mounted in the lighting grid.
These are the POVs, point of view cameras.
Meanwhile, there's still plenty of work left to be done in the makeshift control room.
Yeah, I was wondering where that was all going to be set up.
Setting up and tearing down a full-blown traveling rock show each day is a major undertaking.
Or something, maybe.
Every element, be it sound, lights, or video, is intertwined with one another.
Every show is very interlinked. You know, the sound and lighting guys have to be done before I can finish. Lighting, everybody works together. No one department really is independent of the other, because we all rely on each other to be done, you know, in a certain sequence to allow us all to, you know, fit the whole thing together seamlessly. As the trusses go up, I have the two POVs that are on stage. I'll kind of keep my eye on that. When they're ready, I'll go up there and throw the two POVs up. These are the POVs, point of view cameras, the robotic POVs. I was speaking to you, two of the four that we have here. What these things are, they're just like I said, point of view cameras. They're robotic. They are able, let me try and move it, they're able to pan and tilt with servo motors here. We mount them, two of them in the truss, one back here for kind of an overhead reverse on kneel, and then there's another one down in this pod, right on the back of this pod, which is another kind of a downstage overhead. But what's cool about this is when the pod travels up and down, so does the camera, so it allows it to get different shots depending on its location. It's quite a wide angle, and it's got quite a long focal length considering its size and what it does. But they're really great little point of view cameras. They're really reliable, put out a great signal. And like I say, you try and go for those angles and get those things that people don't normally see or they can't see from their seats.
Okay, all right, part one of video. So far, I'm yawning. Oh, literally yawning. This is not an area that I know anything about, that I am, you know, even remotely interested in, frankly. I mean, it is, you know, it's integral, it matters, you know, it matters. We'll see, maybe I'll get more interested in it. But, you know, I feel like the first 3 sections definitely were more like, okay, like even lights, that is kind of cool. Especially like when he starts doing this kind of thing. His name is Underlighter and he's the lighting guy, and that's just freaking amazing. Like, you know, he's, you know, doing all that stuff. This guy kind of seems more nerdy than the other guys, and the other guys, I feel like it's like more nerd jobs. I mean, maybe not the instrument tech guys, but like the sound and the lighting. I don't know, whatever. It's all, you know, it's all behind the scenes stuff, so I guess they're all nerds. Is that accurate? I don't know. I think that just anybody that works with Rush or anything Rush related, this freaking cat wants to turn on this other computer, and it's crazy. We'll see how interesting this gets. I was wondering where they're going to set up the whole booth situation, like if they were going to be back where the front of house and the lighting guy is, or if it would be somewhere completely else. And it looks like, so far, I mean, we'll probably find out, but it looks like it's just like in a room in the building, not in the house at all, somewhere backstage or something. So we'll find that out. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's an integral part of the show, because they have a ton of video stuff. And also, I imagine they're also recording and pulling this stuff for DVDs and things like that, you know, performance videos. So it all matters. It all matters. Cool. All right. Part 1 done. See you guys in part 2. Catch you in.